Mabuhay from the Philippines. I am Dr. Helina P. Dupa, an associate professor from Davao Oriental State University, Mati City, Philippines. I would like to present this paper entitled Reasons of Engagement and Impact of Contract Farming to Smallhold Farmers in Developing Countries, a literature review. Introduction. This is a review of studies and literatures published in books, journals, discussion papers, conference proceedings, and other related articles that evaluate or assess the reason or reasons of farmers in engaging into contract farming and its impact on the socio-economic conditions of the small farmers. This also explores possible gaps in these studies, which will serve as a yardstick for future researches or analysis. Contract farming has already existed starting from the ancient epochs that appeared in different forms and practices relative to the country where it is practiced. It was called a sharecropping during the old Chinese times or a way of serfdom in USA during the 19th century. Nowadays, contract farming becomes a rising mechanism for transactions in agricultural food chain. Methodology. This paper is solely focused on the review of related literature and studies, which surveys books, journals, discussion papers, conference proceedings, and other related articles about contract farming. Most of the resources were accessed online in June to October in 2015. Results and discussion. Small farmers in developing countries find it difficult to participate in the market due to weak backward and forward linkages. This becomes part of the motivating forces for growers to submit to contract farming. This is evidenced in the survey among smallhold farmers in Zimbabwe in 2001-2002, which found that market uncertainty, underlying indirect or latent benefits, income benefits, and intangible benefits as the factors which cause these farmers to engage in contract farming. The latent benefits are the training and knowledge they earn from engaging into contract farming, while the intangible benefit is the kind of status that they get from it. Furthermore, what motivates vegetable farmers in engaging into contract farming in Shandong Province, China, is the opportunity to access demand and high price, as they do not so much rely on risk reduction opportunity in contracting. Theoretically speaking, contract farming improves the income and productivity of farmers due to risk minimization, access to market, and economies of scale. In fact, several studies prove the efficiency and effectiveness of contract farming. For one, contracting generates more benefits and better income to farmers, according to the studies of Kayadi and Weibel in 2013, Go and Company in 2007, Miyata et al. In 2009, and Sribunshita and Wibun Pongse in 2008. Costales and Catelo in 2009 have a report on their evaluation of the efficiency and effectiveness of contract farming using detailed reviews of case studies in India, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam. They find that contracts are generally relatively efficient in introducing new production techniques, integrating producers to the markets for lower input processes or prices, and or high product prices, leading to higher net incomes per unit of output. In other words, contract farming bring about opportunities for improved incomes for rural households in developing countries through new possibilities to supply higher value products such as meat and milk products in markets of the growing urban centers in the developing countries themselves. Contract farming also has a positive and significant effect on farmers because of its capacity to mitigate production and marketing risks, and in this way, farmers can overcome market flaws and vulnerability to shocks being reduced. The same proficiency of contract farming is shown in the study conducted by Vidhaya and Mohana in 2015 on the institutional and economic factors that influence the participation of Indian farmers in poultry farming, and they find contract farming to be so. It is an effective tool in the mitigation of risks confronting the farmers and in the marketing of the farmer's broiler produce to its final consumer. Contractual arrangement can provide farmers with access to production services, credit and knowledge of new technology, and pricing arrangements can reduce the risk and uncertainty. In addition, a survey on contract farming of broiler in Chiang Mai province of Thailand done by Arira et al. In 2012 show a very positive impression about the benefits contract farming gives to broiler growers in Thailand. Although there are few problems faced by the farmers such as sharing production and risk and mode of payment for input, which vary among the quantity and time, the fact remains that the rapid expansion in broiler production has been made possible by the increase in the number of commercial farms or the study of Indonesian oil palm industry also revealed a positive, significant effect of contract farming on small farmers' income, although it discriminates against poorer smallholders. Consequently, Raut et al. In 2013 see a similar result from their study of sugarcane farmers engaged in contracting in Orissa, India, and they find contract farming as an aid in surging the income among marginal and smallholders. Indeed, growers can substantively profit from contracting in terms of risk minimization, and they get effectively integrated into domestic and international markets. Although in the earlier study conducted by Singh, there were found loopholes in contract farming under multinational corporations in vegetable crops in the Indian Punjab, such as contract biases, imperfections of the market world, input, supply and crop failures, delayed produce delivery and payment. Aside from these, problems of contract arrangements also involve quality control and lack of negotiation power. What is ironic in here is that majority of the farmers still want to continue the contracting scheme despite some gaps or problems faced. Conclusions and recommendations. The literatures reveal that contract farming engenders further welfares to farmers. It improves their income, particularly those who are marginal and smallholders. It increases their productivity because marketing risks have been minimized and they have direct access to market and better economies of scale. This implies the farmers get successfully integrated into domestic international markets. Contract arrangement also provides farmers intangibles or latent benefits. Nonetheless, contract farming may pose the following harms such as contract biases, imperfections of the market world, input supply and crop failures, delayed produce delivery and payment, quality control, and lack of negotiation power. Be that as may be, the following gaps need to be addressed in future studies. There should be an in-depth evaluation on the outcomes of contract farming to rural development. Accountable marketing contracts between small farmers and big firms, a systematic investigation on informal contracts and how it can be an efficient and effective market linkage to the smallholders, and more empirical studies in contract farming and livestock farming in the locality. For the gaps for further study and analysis, the following areas need to be studied more carefully in the light of contract farming. There should be broader analysis on the effects of contract farming to rural development, responsible contract farming, more systematic inquiry into the dynamics of informal contracts and how to better harness their potential to become more efficient and effective market linkage. There has been found very significant, no, very scant literature about effectiveness of contracting scheme in livestock. These are the literature cited. Thank you so much. Salamat, mabuhay from the Philippines.